Hey guys, what is up? What's going on? It's Ashley. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, what I'm going to be doing is a review slash demo slash swatch slash 2-in-1 tutorial on the brand new MACxPatrickstarrr spring collection. Now Patrick did launch 2 new spring kits with MAC, which I think is so freaking sick. Let me just say, this dropped out of thin air. Like, I didn't see it coming. I don't think anyone saw it coming. Patrick literally announced this and everybody was like shook, because to collaborate with MAC once but then twice, I have no words. I think that is such a huge accomplishment. So shout out to Patrick, Team Internet all day, every day. In this video, I will be reviewing the Me So Fleek Kit. MAC did send this to me in PR, so I have this baby right here. I'll also be showing you guys 2 different looks with the kits. So if you guys are all here for this video, don't forget to press that subscribe button, and also don't forget to click that little bell so that you guys are notified anytime I upload a new video, which is 2 times a week, every single week. And without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and hop into it. So I'm going to start this video off by showing you guys the kit that I received from MAC in PR. So I did not pay for it. They did send it to me. I was actually pleasantly surprised that they did decide to send me this kit. Let me not fake the funk. I was over the moon excited when I saw that Patrick was collaborating with MAC again. I was like, I need this one this time around because it's spring and it just screamed color. And you guys know I normally don't gravitate towards a lot of color on my channel. So first and foremost, this is the kit right here. It comes in a floral box. It says Me So Fleek, so I did get the Me So Fleek collection. And then it says PATRICKSTARRR, and then it says MAC right here. The only thing I will say is that the box is very, very busy, so I kind of was hoping that his name was going to stand out a little bit more. It makes it a little bit hard to read, but nonetheless, it still is really, really cute packaging. Now, you do get 4 different items in the kit. You are going to get a retro matte lipstick in the shade Hey Boy Hey. It's a dirty pinkish plum. You're also going to get a MAC lip gloss in the shade QUEENP. It's a neon pink with blue pearl iridescence. You're also going to get an eyeshadow quad. So you get 4 different eyeshadows in this quad. This one is in the shade Play With Me. So the very first shade I'm going to swatch is in Living Pink. It's a pinky coral with gold shimmer. The second color is All's Rosy. It's a dirty mid-tone pink. Third one is Hickey. It's a bright pink with shimmer. And lastly, you get this really beautiful blue called In the Shadows. It's a vibrant dark blue with shimmer. It is insanely stunning, and it's probably the color that I'm most excited to use in this tutorial. You also get a powder blush duo in the shade Take Me Home. So on one side, you're going to get a soft coral pink, which is a satin, and then on the other side, you're going to get a matte muted pink plum. This entire kit right here will run you about $49.50 US, and then if you live in Canada, it's about $63. I honestly think that's a really good deal. You get 4 different MAC products. You get an eyeshadow quad, you get a blush duo, you get a lipstick, and you also get a lip gloss. I think that is an amazing steal. So with that, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the eyeshadow tutorial of this video. So let's get started, shall we? All right, so I have you guys all up close and personal so that way you can really get a feel for my blending and things like that. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prime my eyelids. You guys know I absolutely love to use my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This one right here is in the shade Medium 1 Custard. You guys, I'm almost out and it's pretty sad to think about. I'm going to take it on a fluffy brush. This one I just got from Shop Miss A. It's a $1 makeup site and the brush retails for $1. Next, I'm going to go in with a little bit of my Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Setting Powder on that same fluffy brush. And I'm going to apply this from my crease all the way to my brow bone, leaving my entire lid bare. Because if you guys watch my How to Make Eyeshadows Pop video, I told you guys if you are working with vibrant shadows, you really want to ensure that it's nice and pigmented. So I don't want to set it down with that shadow because it really can dull down the color and the intensity. So I am only going to put this in my crease and directly underneath the brow bone for blendability purposes. Now that I have that translucent color all up in my crease, I'm now going to move on to eyeshadows. I will be using the Play With Me quad that Patrick came out with. It has 4 beautiful shades in it. The very first one I'm going to use is this one right here. This one is called All's Rosy. It's a really beautiful mid-tone pink. So I'm going to take that on a Sigma E40 blending brush and I'm going to rock it back and forth into my crease. This is essentially going to be my transition color, you feel me? I think the pigment on this shadow is really nice, and it's blending out really nicely as well. So I am just going in with a little bit of product at a time just because I don't want to go in with too much and then it'd be super hard to blend out. So I'm really taking my time to build up that color in my crease. The next shade I'm going to use in the palette is this one right here. This one is called Hickey. It's a beautiful bright pink with a little bit of shimmer in it. And I am going to take that on a Morphe M441 brush, which comes to a little bit more of a tapered tip like so. And I'm going to rock that in my crease. And I am going to essentially try to keep it in my crease. And I'm not going to take it above the transition color. So I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to use this to really just intensify my crease. Like I said, you really just want to keep her in the crease. So just build her up little by little. Wow, this color is beautiful. Now, if you feel like you start losing a little bit of that mauvey rosy color, just go right back in with a little bit of product on your E40 and then just buff and blend it. Just so that way it peeks out a little bit. Now I'm just going in with a clean Sigma E25 and I'm just taking it around the edges. Just ensure my blend is like on point. I'm also going to buff this pink onto the lid a little bit because I'm going to go in with that blue shade in a second and I'm about to light up my life. So I think things are looking really good right now. The next shade I'm going to go in with is this one. This one is called In the Shadows. It's a gorgeous vibrant dark blue with shimmer. Y'all aren't ready. I'm not ready. Like, can we just take a swatch moment? Freaking the fuck out. I'm going to take it on an e.l.f. 205 brush. This is very similar to a Sigma E25 if you guys want an affordable version. I'm going to pick up a little bit of In the Shadows like so, and I'm going to pack it onto my lid. Yes, I am going in packing motions, not swiping motions. So I'm just going to go ahead and pack it right here. Oh my god, she is stunning. Do you guys see that? And this is going on completely dry. I do have a little bit of tackiness from my eyeshadow base left over, but for the most part, this is what I'm rocking with. I'm getting no fallout with the blue. Okay, Patrick. Okay, Mac. I see you. I freaking see you. Holy crap. I am going to go in with a little bit more of a detailed brush. This is just a flat concealer brush that I also got from Shop Miss A. I'm actually going to link that video where I did a full face using only $1 makeup brushes, just so that way you guys can check it out. I feel like they perform fairly well, and I still use them to this day. I'm going to use this precise brush to really just get in my inner corner without like messing anything up. So I'm just going to go ahead and pack her right here. Now that I have the shade In the Shadows all over the lid, I'm going to go in with this pointed crease brush by e.l.f. and I'm just going to run it into the crease to just ever so lightly buff and blend out the harsh edge we just created. So I'm just going to go ahead and buff it just so that way I don't have that super stark harsh line. In the process of blending, if you feel like you need to go in with a little bit more of the blue, you definitely can. I notice that I am blending a little bit of it away. I do want to keep it as vibrant as possible, so I am just going to go back in and lightly reapply, and then if I need to go in with a crease brush to buff out the edge, I will. For the most part, since I have that sharp blue edge completely blended out, I'm going to go right back into the shade called Hickey, which is that very bright pink shade, and I'm just going to take that in my crease to really just add something extra. I'm really just using this shade to really just deepen up that crease and really just mesh and melt the blue and the pink together. Honey, give it to me. The The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go right back into the shade called In the Shadows, and I am going to take it on a short shader E20 brush by Sigma. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the blue, and I'm just going to coat my brush very, very nicely, and I'm just going to push this closest to my very lower lash line. So I'm going to pop her right here. And I am getting a little bit more fallout than I was when I just applied the lid shade. So one thing I will say is that working with blue eyeshadow is extremely difficult. As you can see, I took the blue a little bit too far right here in the very inner corner. I'm going to see if I can clean it up with just like a little bit of concealer, just so that way I don't need to take off my whole entire face. But just be mindful of that, okay? After that, I'm going to go in with a small tapered blending E45 by Sigma. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the shade called Hickey, and I'm just going to buff and blend this directly underneath the blue, just so that way it kind of peeks through and gradiates under, just like it does on the upper lid. I will say the pink, I feel like I have to like really like dig in there, and then when it mixes obviously with the blue, it turns purple. So very curious to see what it looks like on its own. Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I'm going to see if I can do a little bit of cleanup with loose translucent powder by Laura Mercier directly underneath my eye, since I did kind of like jack it up with a little bit of the blue. I'm going to try to brighten here a little bit. I definitely recommend maybe doing your foundation last as opposed to doing it first, because if the blue gets on the foundation, then you kind of look a little bit bruised. So I feel like in that case, like blue's like a little difficult to work with, but hopefully this helps. The last shade I'm going to use in the palette is this one right here. This one is called Living Pink. It's a pinky coral with gold shimmer in it. And I'm actually going to take this in the very inner corner to draw forth light. So I am going to take that on a pencil brush. I'm going to spray it with a little bit of Fix Plus, just because I do want this color to pop in the very inner corner. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop it right in there. And I am going to try to take it a little bit over this blue shadow that I totally brought in a little too far. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop on mascara, I'm going to tight line, I'm going to put on some lashes, and then I'll be right back and we'll finish off the rest of the face. Now we're going to move on to the blush duo in the shade Take Me Home. I think I'm just going to mix both of the blushes together, let's be real. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a swirl, and do you guys see the pigment on the brush? I'm going to go ahead and tap off, and then I'm going to do like a smile, like, and then I'm going to just pop it on. Okay. I see you, pigment. Ooh, that's actually a really beautiful blush. Wow, this is beautiful. And for highlighter, I'm just going to use the Amrezy X Anastasia highlighter. And I'm going to pop it right here. Give it to me. So we're going to do the lipstick, then we're going to do the gloss, the one I have right here. This is a retro matte lipstick. It is in the shade Hey Boy Hey. It's a beautiful, dirty, pinkish plum. Do you guys see how beautiful that is? So we're going to do a little bit of a like lip action. This is Hey Boy Hey on my lips on its own. You can stop here if you feel like it's a little much. I'm going to go all out since this did come with the kit, the lip gloss in QUEENP. This is a neon pink with blue pearls. It is so pretty. So I'm just going to go ahead and top my lips with this. Alright guys, so I'm back with look number 2. I wanted to show you guys something that was a little bit more deep and vampy like Patrick displayed on his cover shot, and then I also wanted to show you guys something that was a little bit more neutral on the lid with a pop color on the very lower lash line, so that way you guys could see how versatile this little Play With Me quad is from the Me So Fleek collection. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm obviously going to prime my eyelids. You guys know I'm going to use my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This one is in the shade Medium 1 Custard. I'm going to take a little bit of this and I'm just going to go ahead and pop it on my lid. This is really going to mute out my lid and create a really nice base for all the eyeshadows to lay on top of. Next, I'm just going to use a little bit of my Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Setting Powder. I'm going to take a little bit of that on the same brush and I'm going to put it in my crease and also directly underneath my brow bone. Now, when you look at the Play With Me palette, you have two very vibrant colors right up here, and then you have two neutral colors right here. And when I say neutral, I don't mean like browns or anything like that. I mean like colors that you can get away with wearing on a day-to-day basis. This is a very pretty kind of like peachy pink, and this is a really pretty rosy mauve color. They're very, very neutral and very wearable for every day. Now, since you have to buy the kit to get all the products, I'm also going to use the powder blush duo. And you guys are probably like, what? Yes, I am going to actually use this blush right here. It's a beautiful soft coral pink and it's actually a satin. So I am going to pick up a little bit of this and I'm going to rock it in my crease with my Sigma E40 blending brush. It's going to act as the perfect transitional shade. So this is what that blush color is looking like blended in my crease. I did build it up to a decent intensity and I do think it is really, really pretty. Just based on experience from the last look I did not put on any concealer just because I felt like the blue was really making me look like bruised, if you know what I mean, like the little bit of fallout I was getting. So you guys know I never really even do my face before eyes. I always do my eyes first. But just so that way you guys don't have to stare at me all barefaced and blemished, I put a little sunshine on. Okay, so I'm just taking this in the crease and I'm really just blowing it out so that way it's nice and diffused. I'm now going to go in and deepen things up a little bit. I will be using this shade from the Play With Me palette. This one is called All's Rosy, and I am going to take that on a Sigma E25 blending brush to really just deepen things up. I'm going to put this in my crease, also on my outer V. I'm really just going to try to deepen things up a little bit more. Okay guys, so now that we're nice and smoked out, I'm going to go ahead and carve out a little bit of lid space. I'm just going to use this guy. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation in the shade Y375. And I'm going to take this just because it's super duper creamy. I don't find that this dries super fast on my lid. And I want to carve out like a little bit of lid space just so that way the color kind of like pops when I put it on. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know if I want to do like a halo or if I want to do... I'm contemplating my life right now, so just bear with me. Let me sip some water. What to do? What to do? Since I said I wanted this to be a little bit more of a wearable look, I think I am just going to cut the very inner part of my crease like I normally would. I was going to do a halo, but I was like, nah, we're not doing halo here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of the Makeup Forever HD Stick Foundation and I'm going to carve out this part of my lid. I know it kind of defeats the purpose of me putting that shade all over the lid, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. So if you guys are going to recreate a look similar to it, just keep the lid space right here a little bit bare so that way it's not so much work to cover up the shade completely. Once that's done, I'm going to go over the edges with a clean brush and really just kind of like feather it out. Alright, so now that my crease is cut, I'm now going to go in with my lid shade, which is called In Living Pink. It's a really beautiful pinky coral with shimmer. It's like stunning, and this is going to make a really, really awesome lid shade. Like you can just see swatch on my hand. Fun fact, MAC eyeshadows don't really swatch well, but they built up very, very well on the eyelids, and I know that's nothing against Patrick. It is all MAC formulas, so I'm just going to go ahead and take that same brush I cut the crease with, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that shade. Probably going to spray it with a little bit of Fix Plush, just so that way I have a little bit more of a foiled effect and I don't get much fallout. And I'm going to pop this directly over top of that concealer. As I get closer to the center of the lid, I'm just going to go ahead and switch brushes to this full coverage shadow brush, just because I really want it to gradiate into this mauve color really nicely. I do want to darken up the outer V a little bit. Now, you know, pink and blue together, it makes purple, and I think a little bit more of like a deeper purple towards this outer V would make an insanely stunning like crease color. So we're gonna try to finagle something here. We are. I'm gonna go for it. Hopefully this shit works. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the shade called In the Shadows on that little crease elf brush that I used in my last look. And I'm going to just jiggle her right here on this outer V, like so. Now keep in mind, I did not apply concealer just because I knew I was going to get a little bit of fallout. So I'm just going to jiggle this blue right here towards the outer part. And then I'm going to pop a little bit of that pink called Hickey directly over top to get a little bit more of a purple tone going on. Taking my Sigma flat definer brush, I'm pushing this blue closest to the lash line, and I'm gonna build it up right here. So I'm just going to keep repeating these steps right here. I'm building up the blue and then I'm blending that pink directly over top just to get a very pretty purple in this outer V right here. I now am going to go right back into the powder blush duo, and I'm going to pick up this shade right here, the lightest one, on a pencil brush. This is just by BH Cosmetics. And I'm going to really just blow out this lower lash line. And when I say blow out, I mean like blow out. You really just want to smoke her all the way out. With a clean Morphe M443, I'm just going to go alongside these edges right here just because I want it to be very nice and blown out. I don't want this to be super duper harsh right here. I really want a nice gradient effect. I'm going to pick up a little bit of this shade right here on a flat definer brush by Sigma, and I'm just going to push it closest to the lash line right here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and buff it back and forth. This is going to create a little bit of dimension towards the outer portion. And I'm only going to put it about halfway. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do mascara, lashes, finish off the rest of my face, and then we'll be right back. To finish things off, I'm going to do the lips. I am just going to apply the lipstick because I did use the gloss in the last video, and I kind of want to give you guys different options, different looks with the Me So Fleek Kit. So I'm going to pop this on. Alright, so this is the last and final look I will be creating with the Me So Fleek Kit. What do you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys like this look, or do you guys like the more dramatic look that I recreated based on Patrick's campaign photo? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know. I actually really like the look that I'm wearing. I feel like it's a little bit more toned down, but then I really love like the dramatic one because it's completely out of my comfort zone, if you know what I mean. I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering what I think of the collection overall. I think it's a really nice collection. Like I said in the beginning, I don't really love the fact that Patrick's name kind of blends in. I feel like it should have stood out a little bit more, but that's just personal preference. Luckily, the packaging has nothing to do with the product that's inside because I think the product is really amazing. It's very true to what MAC already carries. I think it's great that Patrick came out with a second collection. Honestly, one collaboration with MAC and then two that's out of this world. That's freaking insane. So huge congratulations to Patrick for being able to do something like this. Honestly, it's probably a dream come true, and he definitely deserves all the success that's coming his way. If you guys normally invest your money into products that you can use all year long, no matter the season, then I would probably skip out on this collection because it is very much seasonal. This is very much a spring palette. This isn't something that you would wear in the fall time or in the winter. I mean, you totally could, but it's not normally colors that people would gravitate towards in those seasons. But if you are really into collections and you love Patrick and you want, you know, to have this as a token, token of him, then definitely pick it up. But I definitely don't think it's something that you're gonna miss if you sleep on it, but that's just personal opinion. And I don't think I have anything else to say except I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.